Speaking of animation, man, you want to talk about this? Let's just talk about it. I wanted to talk about X-Men because I know you had some gems to drop. We just got to that.
Yeah.
We just got to that finale, and
Yeah.
finished
No,
up
I
season
want
one.
to get, because I know, me, I'm more like I always like to get like your perspective on it, just coming from like somebody who didn't follow the original as much.
Yeah.
Even though like you more like EMH, Avengers and shit, stuff like that. So man, I just wanted to like just recap the season, not recap the season, but just get your overall take on the entire season, man. Like, what did you think about in terms of just like how it turned out? Did you have any issues with it? Did you think it was did you feel satisfied, pause, after watching the final episode and this 10 episodes? It was 10 episodes, right?
It's 10 episodes.
Yeah, 10 episodes in totality. What did you come away with after the 10 episodes?
The first thing you can is that's instantly obvious for me from the series is that they made that show for the people who watched that original run, right? Let's call it X-Men 92, whatever we calling it.
Right.
And I'm saying that from a standpoint of it was a grown show. You know what I'm saying? Like that was an adult or people, let's call it people who watch that and have grown up.
Yeah.
Right. They grew up with that. They made that show was made. So I'm not saying it from a standpoint of like, oh, you had to have watched that to understand this, not from that standpoint, but just from a maturity, from an age standpoint. I had no problem. I mean, I loved it, man. I got to the end. Like I know now I want to go ahead and watch there's part of me that still kind of don't want to watch anything because I want to kind of live in this space. But the way these streaming shows are set up, that I don't know when season 2 coming out, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna go ahead and not do nothing, and then it'll be 2027 before season 2 come out. Yeah. So we're not gonna do that. But man, it was like every time, and it was heavy. You know, I was in that little weird space where like the Bad Batch was still coming out. And like I was going, obviously, the way I was just locked into the Bad Batch. You know how I feel about the Batch. So I was locked into that. So like sometimes I will go like I will let two or three shows kind of like stack, and then I'll watch them 2 or 3, right? And then like each one of those will be heavy, right? That whole Genosha run, right? Destroying Genosha, the fact that it was Jean Grey's daughter, clone. And had the son, and then her and Scott got to deal with that, and he think he still loved the clone, and it just was weird. It was like wow, and then like, and even when the series ended, there's what they did with it, which is crazy that dude lost his job. Like I guess we're gonna have to find out why dude lost his job. Like, we're gonna have to come out with it because like they said they got this season and next season all based off his stuff. They ain't really got to worry about it until season 3.
Yeah.
As far as
and I heard they said they want to get it out quick.
Yeah.
They want to get season 2 out like as quick as possible.
Yeah. They kind of have to, right?
Yeah.
The way that ended. But like it's like storylines, it's like layered storylines, right? And I think that's a nod. Like I'm only knowing that after I go back and was like doing a little research before we started talking. And it's like, oh, I bet people who was, and that's the part I want to know, right? Because my thought is, I bet people who know, like, oh, hold on, they did that, and then this, like, I'm just like, damn, season finale. Oh, people done went back we got some people going back to the past. You got some people going to the future.
That was dope.
You got some people still in the here and now. I see pictures on the side with Scarlet Witch. Like, oh, okay, so we know that's happening. Those, like when he was trying to find some X-Men.
Yeah, did you see that?
You see Scarlet Witch on the side, and was other. I think we saw
silhouette. Yeah,
what's my man? Yeah, they basically had like a shadow, but
it was like looking, but they was there. Yeah,
they had the picture of my man that was in the first that's been in the Daredevil movies. I always forget his name. Metal dude.
He was in Daredevil.
Deadpool.
He was in Colossus. Yeah,
Colossus, my man, Colossus.
Yeah.
So like, but then like you started looking like, oh, and then I instantly did get understand when I saw it was, so I almost started running. So I'd like, okay, that's Apocalypse, right? I'm like, that's Apocalypse. But then my mom started running like, is that early that really Kane? Like, could that possibly be an early Kane? You know, you get what I'm saying?
I saw some other people was thinking that too.
I did that, and I was like, nah, don't let me go there. But I was like,
up in there,
But like I saw, that's why I want to hear what you got to say about it, because I felt like throughout the season there were like layered storylines, but they really set up a kind of a 3-part season 2, right? Like this is happening because of this run. This is happening because of this run, and then this final thing is probably happening with what that run. Lastly, what's my man that could is it Forge?
Yeah,
that can fix things and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, he was getting those.
Yeah. Hey,
yeah, he was getting those.
He was getting those.
He was getting some of the best those too.
He was in the cabin with no TV in it, making chili. Getting those off Storm, bro.
Hey, man. He was only supposed to help her, but he helped himself.
He helped her. Hey, Forge was.
I could respect Forge.
Forge is
because that was a storm. That was a grown Storm too. Boy.
There's a lot of stickmen in the X-Men. He one of the top stickmen now, man. Buddy was getting it in the cabin, B.
That's a nice pickup.
That's a nice pickup, man. And she came out with she somehow had extensions.
Yeah.
Weed game was like out of nowhere. She went from having a mohawk to like a full, you know what I mean? Came out new costume.
She gets out the plane with the legs crossed, just looking like that work, man.
Roro was looking like work, man.
Yeah,
Roro was looking like work, man. He was getting those, man. Shout out to Forge.
Shout out to Forge, man. One of the best to do it. One of the best to do it.
One of the best to do it.
That's a solid. No, like I don't know how we can, if we ever get to that point where we want to rank pickups, but that's a solid pickup, man.
That's a good pickup, man.
He wasn't supposed to pick that up.
Nah,
he picked those up, man.
He was trying to give her, like you said, he was trying to help her. Ended up helping himself, man. Trying to give her powers back. Yeah.
Hey, not only did he like make her feel like an X-Men again, he made her feel like a woman. That's what Aurora got her. That's what really got she got her confidence back. She felt like a woman again. Shit. Pardon my French.
She said, "I can't feel the. I can't feel the light, the breeze." He said, "Hey." You're gonna feel the lightning again. You're gonna feel the thunder. Yeah.
Damn, that's what you just say.
He was telling her like little Native American proverbs and stuff, you know what I mean? Like whatever little Native American sayings, I should say this. Like
he had some work. He had some lines.
He was that guy, man.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was that guy, man. You know what I mean? He came out, he had the prosthetic leg.
Yeah.
He was getting those, B. He was, as soon as she came down he put the chili on the table for both of them. Like, it's that Native American. It's corn in that. I mean, all types of herbs.
Grew it himself. Yeah, because he didn't figure out, he done figured out ways efficient ways to get the most protein or whatever he needed to get in his, how to do that because he was taking care of himself. He had it figured out. Man.
I don't even know what his power is, man. What is Forge's power, man? I think he just fixed stuff, right? Like
he didn't do anything. I think he had the ability like to fix things and put things together quickly or he adapted. Yeah, because like you say, the whole time I'm like, is he going? Okay, this fight about to happen. They just asking him to fix the machines. Like, hey man, just sitting over here. This is gonna be our only way. And then next thing you know, him and Hank, they put it together and they was up in air. What they call it, asteroid Geonosia, whatever they was calling it.
Yeah,
but he didn't do anything else. But get those. He got those.
He got those, man.
He got those, man. That's my man.
He was nursing her. She ended up nursing him, man. He was in there. He had the bite on his arm. I don't know if we'll make it, just in case, though.
Yeah.
Man, shout out to Aurora. Aurora, how you say her name?
Yeah. And he was the only one that was saying it.
He was the only one that was saying it, bro. He ain't never called it. He barely caught her storm.
Yeah, he wasn't messing around with none of that.
You know what I mean? He was, man. Yeah, Forge was getting those, man.
Yeah. But
yeah,
part of my sidetrack. Like, what did you come away?
Yeah,
with the season, and any particular points in the season where you was like, hey, like,
yeah. I would say, like you said, that Genosha, when that whole sequence with Rogue and Gambit.
Oh,
and Gambit, that Remember Me is the name of the episode. Remember Me? Man, Gambit. This, man, if it's one thing this show accomplished, it finally made the X-Men look super powerful. All of them. Like it just show you all their abilities to the max.
Bookmark that point, and we'll come back to that.
Yeah, we come back.
For me as a viewer, because I had that in my situation. But go ahead.
It made I'm saying, just to piggyback on, like, it made me start like realizing, like, okay, now I remember why Avengers and X-Men was like this. Why they would have the audacity to have several X-Men versus Avengers books out there.
Yeah.
Like they had hella runs of X-Men and Avengers versus Avengers. Yeah, and it's because, man, they was on par, bro.
They was on those par. Like videos and clips and everything starting to pop back up. Like for the uninitiated, this is out there. Like there's a bunch of X-Men versus Avengers kind of like content.
Man, you see now they can hang with the Avengers, man. Especially, man. I mean, the biggest thing to come out of this, obviously, the most redeemed character in my opinion, obviously, is Cyclops. You know, Cyclops now people looking at Cyclops like, damn, man. He everything that Rogers did for the Avengers, you know, leader, his power level was up there, like his hand-to-hand combat looked better. Just everything about him, man. This is just a big redemption for him.
Because I always thought he was a wimp before.
Yeah, a lot of people did.
I was like, man,
even the animated version, I thought was a wimp. A lot of people look at the movie version and say that was the wimpy version. But I always looked at him as just like, man, this little whiny dude, man.
Yeah, that's how I was even when they're about to jump off. Like in my mind, I'm like, oh man, hey man, leave, man. Stop crying.
Yeah,
go leave. That's because I already got that.
Yeah, you know, he was always in the way, man. I'm like, man, move out the way and let Logan get in those, man. Get out the way, man. You know, but nah, man. This he had a good arc. You know, he had the little triangle with the two clones. You know what I mean? He talk about getting those. How you look? Yeah. So you know, he had Madeline Pryor. He had the real Gene, man. He had a kid with the other one. You know, kid gets sent to the future, man. It was a lot going on with Scott, man. But it was this is a good redemption for his character, man. His character now cool again. Boom. I mean, he on par with the comic books now. It finally works. Nah, man. The thing about this, I will say, man, I came away with, man. I never felt like I wanted more after an episode. Like I never felt like I didn't get enough.
Okay.
In every episode, I always was like, oh no, I'm good. You know, I was always good to go to the next week. I never felt like, oh man, that's it. You know, damn, man, that's all they gonna do.
Which has been a thing, right?
Which is a thing with Disney Plus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We just want to be real, like with Disney Plus shows, whether that be Star Wars or the Marvel shows, you always saw certain episodes that feel off balance where you like, man, damn, man, that was barely an episode. Like, oh man, they just talking, man. You know, or we, you know, like Moon Knight did that a lot, where it was like, man, I got like 2 minutes of action.
Yeah,
I got like 1 minute of the suit,
and the story didn't move.
And the story barely moved. So it's like with this though, they jam-packed different arcs within like 1 or 2 episodes. Like you was good. Like they was like that whole thing. Yeah, the whole thing with Forge, that Life Death? I think it was called Life Death in 1 and 2. I think it was like that's like a huge arc in the comics.
Okay.
They put it in 2 episodes. You know what I mean? Like now, I mean, there's some good and some bad to that. You know what I mean? Mostly, I'm gonna say it was mostly good, but because the pacing is crazy. That's like probably the only like little nitpick I got is that the pacing was just like so fast. But nah, man. But I don't mind that because, like I said, I never felt like they left something out. You know, I never felt like, oh man, that's it. Damn. all right, next week, I was always at the end of every week. I was like, man, I'm good. I'm good all the way up to the end where it's like, all right, now I'm really intrigued now. Y'all need to hurry up and we need to hurry up and get season 2 out right away.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But other than that, man, yeah, I thought it was dope, man. I loved it, man. It's a good return. They made some, it's not the greatest looking show in my opinion, but they did a good job, man, with the action, man, with just making sure like you had like this splash of like all their powers that turned up to the max, man. Jean Grey finally, like back in the day, Jean Grey outside of being Phoenix, outside of bringing the Phoenix Force was kind of just like you'll see her in the intro do that, like. But you ain't really get to see her use her powers like this. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now she like making people falling off buildings. She catching them. She, she throwing people out of, through the roof. It's just, just the way you do it, man. I was satisfied with it, man. It was dope, man. I ain't really got no complaints about this the first season. I'm looking forward to the second season.
You made that point about with the powers. And that gave me like that's one thing I came away with the show and watching it is not being the biggest X-Men connoisseur. And I don't, I'm not gonna give you no lore. I couldn't even tell you before of like okay, we get into the X-Men, but like because we supposed to, but not like it ain't like I know like I don't have anything to let me know like oh yeah, okay, yeah, they because I don't have I know Wolverine that dude.
Yeah.
Like a lot of us. And that bring that back to this show. Wolverine didn't really get off in this season. You know what I'm saying?
Not really.
Nah. He didn't really get off like in terms of like the easy thing to do. It's probably the smart thing to do. It's easy to say easy, like easy thing to do, but it's probably makes sense where it's like so many people love Logan. Just let Logan get off every episode. It's doing this thing, but like he didn't really do that through the season, right? And we left with him in a certain way after what Magnus did to him. But like what I got to see, and for me, for somebody who was like, even though I know about the X-Men, but really coming into this like clean slate blonde or whatever, like they do have power sets. Like such a when you gave me that Rogue Captain Marvel lore. Right. And now I synced it.
Yeah.
Right. Now, the funny thing is I want to turn this into a shit on Captain Marvel movie or anything like that.
Oh, man.
But imagine if they did it, they switched the character but made it Rogue.
Yeah, man.
You got a much better chance at it because now you got Rogue's personality, you get the right actress. You know what I mean? Then you probably could even build a better storyline because now you got Rogue got relations and shit, right? So, Rogue doing adult things.
Yeah.
But I digress on that one. My back to the point when you see them using different powers. You seeing Scott, you seeing him going to work, like you seeing Storm, but you seeing Storm like we know Storm nice, but we get to like see her like fall, come back, different things like that. Even Magneto. And I know Magneto cold, but we usually just see him like in the movie, just a piece of metal flying across. Here we go. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why the joke is like, if he fall Iron Man, like how Iron Man can't do anything. I mean, you made your suit made of iron, bro. Like Magneto take wearing that out. But I say all that to say, when you see that he can take out the power in the entire world, lift Genosha into space, all the different things that he had to make these bubbles and everything that he could do, you like, oh no. This for real power that they got. This shit that even Professor X was doing, and I know Professor X that dude, but like it's this. Come to me, my X-Men. That's all I'm like. Okay, I see that. That's why I like Magneto more, and I still like Magneto more. But like if we get into that conversation, like hey, man, a lot of times I'll be like, hey man,
a lot of
right. And you can
this is a Magneto friendly show, man.
And they showed that
damn near his show.
It was damn near his show. Yeah. But like you see him say, "Come to me, my X-Man," and like he old and he can only do that. But like no, him doing that, he can really get into where he need. He can really do something when he do that. It ain't just getting on Cerebro and finding people who might be a might be a mutant just playing under a tree when they're a little kid and he show up. It's more to that.
Yeah.
My point is, I'm going along with that. My point is, you made that point about powers, but it really showed me, like you say, to the point about Jean, because I'm thinking Dark Phoenix. Oh no, she does more than that. Such and such does more than that. Like, and even with that, there's a lot of things they can do with that, as opposed to just, I only know Jean Grey really as a threat, right? Yeah. I don't know Jean Grey, X-Men, help. I know. Yeah. Don't let Jean Grey get out of control. Jean Grey.
She's super.
That's what the movies are. That's what the movies are. Like, don't let her. Hey, just when we need her, that's when we use her, right? Like, no, she's part of the team, and this is what. So now I can go on, and I'm sure we will when we get, like once we really start talking about like these different series and the thing. I just think it's safer, but it's just things you can for whatever reason. I don't know if it's just easier to digest because it may be on me as the consumer, but when they do that shit in animation, man, then I just know they couldn't have pulled this off with the things they were able to explore, things they would bring to the table. Obviously you got CG and everything that would be involved, but there's just a lot of things you couldn't do with this. And I appreciate that they put it out. They put it out this way. I'm actually excited, and hopefully they do an in-universe animated universe.
Yeah.
I'm excited the thought of that being a thing, and I'm sure we're gonna do it. Hey, so what does this mean for the MCU? No, what does this mean for the animated MCU?
Because if you notice, bro, they did everything in their power to make that apparent.
They did, didn't they?
They wanted everybody was in the show, bro. Daredevil. Who you name it, I'm gonna find this. I'm gonna find a cameo. Daredevil, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver was in there in the back. You had Spider-Man pop up, which was dope. We get to
that Spider up a couple times.
Yeah, he did. Exactly. Him and Mary Jane with the exact same costumes they had from the Spider-Man show.
He showed up as hold that. He showed up as Spider-Man and as Parker. Could they, like you say, hit us over the head? Pause maybe needed. Could they do anything else to let us know, like, y'all know what's coming, right?
Yeah. Or I
didn't even think about that. Yeah. He was with Mary Jane. Let's see that. With Mary Jane,
original costume, what she wore in the show.
We never finished and found her.
Nah, she's still lost, right? Yeah. So
because he was with Water Jane.
That's a good point.
He was with Water Jane for a while. We never found her. He left with Madam Web.
That's a good point, because you're right. Technically, those events haven't happened yet. If we going off 97. X-Men 97, which tells me theory time. You know what I mean? Just put a little theory in here real quick. When they get back, it's gonna be a time jump. When they get back to present, whenever they get over this timey-wimey, it's gonna be yes, that Doctor Who. It's gonna be a time jump, and they're gonna end up like in the future. They're gonna lose some years, or that's what I think. I think they're gonna lose some years.
You think we're gonna get that story? You think we're gonna get an in-universe Spider-Man show? Because we gotta tie that ribbon, right? We gotta finish that out. We never got Jane back, and Parker left to go try to find her. Like, yeah, I think we got a season of that coming up in Marvel Animation.
They certainly gonna make it. The only thing that would, because if I had to guess, I would say they're not gonna do a Spider-Man. I think that X-Men, the creator dude that got fired, and whoever's behind it, I think he wanted that because he put everybody in this show, bro. All the Avengers is all here.
We seen
Iron Man,
seen them separate. We seen Thor, Doctor Strange, Hulk. I mean, we saw him morphing though, morphed into Hulk.
Still,
but it was Hulk.
He done showed you all the models.
And that was that Hulk.
Morph did everybody. Morph was he wasn't Deadpool. They said they couldn't hide Deadpool. He was Deadpool in the original show. Morph turned into Deadpool back in the original show. But in this one, he was Reed Richards.
That's right. They threw that in there.
Psylocke was in there. She X-Men.
Yeah.
Or she been in X-Men. Hers.
Cloak and Dagger. I'm not saying morphed into them, but Cloak and Dagger showed up.
The Thing. I think he was the Thing at one time, wasn't he? Am I remembering that wrong?
I don't know.
I thought he was Ben Grimm. Okay, so maybe not the Thing, but I remember he Yeah, like you said, Hulk. Like I can't think of an Avenger who wasn't in this. Like other than like Black Widow and
people who had shows.
People who had shows was
People
here.
who've been in the animation situation.
They was all
Everybody
there.
who was animated was there.
They was there. So it's like, come on, man. They trying to make a case for to bring back the animated universe. And it could work out, man. Like, especially the only reason I'm saying, going back to my original point, the only reason I don't think they will say they got a Spider-Man show, animated show about to come out.
The freshman year thing.
Freshman year, yeah. And I don't know if they
might not want to go back.
Yeah, I don't know if they really want to make another Spider-Man show. And part of me is like, man, leave well enough alone. So I'm like, man, y'all got this right. And y'all fired the showrunner. Who gonna be running the show? Who gonna be running this Spider-Man? You know, it's like, nah, go ahead and leave that one alone. You know what I mean? Y'all, yeah, it's cool. EP pop up. He made some cameos in this one, which was dope. It was like, I don't know. I think y'all did good enough with this one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, we leave well enough alone. Don't worry about Spider-Man. Go ahead, do y'all Spider-Man show freshman year, and we'll work with these cameos. But you're right though. I mean, that is a huge thing that never finished.
Yeah,
it just seemed like they would want to patch that up.
Yeah,
my only question would be is who y'all got behind that, because that can get tricky, man. Who's there? Like who can come in? Or are y'all gonna get the original voice actor? Like, you see how hard it was just to get this one out. They had to get all the voice actors back, make them re-audition, and they end up firing the showrunner after he did two. You know, he basically did 2 seasons. Got to do that with Spider-Man now. You know how he did it. He was like, "Hey, you got to be a fan of X-Men just to work on this show."
Yeah,
are they gonna be able to do that with Spider-Man?
Yeah,
Spider-Man big, man. You know what I mean?
Oh, like, Spider-Man's a huge deal, man.
Spider-Man bigger than the X-Men, technically. Yeah. So it's like
Spider-Man bigger than everybody.
That's a big deal, man.
We keep it a super buck. He's bigger than everybody.
Bigger than everybody, like literally. So it's like you get what I'm saying though? That's a gamble. That's a tricky situation.
It's a good fandom kind of like conversation with the logistics around it. Would suggest that that's not.
Part of me is like, nah.
And then it's the part. Then you go into the reality aspect of it, like how like now there's a part of it, because my point I'm about to make, you could dispel it, but like the 2 shows that are beloved from that era was X-Men and Spider-Man, and they would be in universe, and some like they showed up on his show and vice versa. I know they really showed up on the Spider-Man show a lot. They had a whole run. We did a video about that when Parker was acting funny he was funny style about them showing up.
Yeah,
I say all that to say, but those are the 2 beloved. Like, it's great to see Iron Man and Cap and all that, but it ain't like those are beloved, well done shows.
Animated. Nah, you're right.
Theme song was incredible, but
right.
that about it. The whole cartoon from that time period. It ain't like people clamoring like, "Hey man, do that." You get what I'm saying? Like it's not a well done.
About the Hulk, man.
It's not
about the Hulk. Damn,
it's not a well done show.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas like X-Men and Spider-Man, so it can only can do. My point is, long-winded way of saying they took a show from that time and made it adult for now, right? Because they made it for the people who watched. They made it for the people who watched that show, right? Like it was, but it was an adult version of that show. Can't you keep doing that, right? Like, is that a thirst that everybody has for making adult cartoons, right? At some point in time, they put the kibosh on that. Say, no, we got to get it back to the kids. So we're not gonna keep. You'll have a animated universe, but it won't probably be based on if they do that. Obviously, they're gonna make a bunch of animation, because we just got the news the other day, or it came out that they're doing they're making Marvel Studios 3 banners now, right? Marvel Animation, Marvel Television, Marvel Studios, right? So they're going to put content out.
Ain't that what it was before?
What it was before.
Like, so y'all basically just going back to how it used to be, but just new management, new leadership, basically.
Yeah, a new idea.
Where y'all all connected this time. Y'all actually like each other and talk to each other, because before they was like separate. You know what I mean? They hate each other.
It's conflict.
All right, so they're going back to that's cool though. That's good. That's what you need, because you don't let Kevin Feige focus on what he focused on, man. And let somebody else run the TV. And I get it. He gonna oversee everything, but still, it's like, I think that can work out, man. Because it wasn't working doing these Disney Plus shows, and you don't even got real like we talked about back in the day. It's like they didn't even have real showrunners. It was just letting these shows just like, all right, this is and then you got people ready to green light stuff where with Daredevil where it's like, oh, this is gonna be a procedural, you know what I mean? It's gonna be a court procedural and nah, man. Let people know how to do TV, get in there and develop these TV shows.
And I think you just said it in probably the most important thing you just said at the end, because you always get a bunch of ideas, but who knows what the green light and what not the green light?
Yeah,
right. Because I'm telling you, all through the time they was getting like silly ideas for different shows, different movies, different things, and yeah, we can't. I love you, man. You my guy. You know I love you, man. I do anything for you, man. We can't put that bullshit out, right? Sometimes you got to be that, right? You got to be that, and hopefully, like the person who has a button on the green light know when the green light. So like I just green lit something, whatever. Because I just saw a little situation with D'Onofrio when he said show we were doing had nothing to do with the Netflix stuff. Now we got a lot of it, and it's like
who?
And we don't know at what point. When meaning like when the people that was making the show in the first place, those were the marching orders. Because a lot of people fall on swords that don't need to fall on swords, right? And it's like those were the marching orders. I'm just telling you what they told. I'm doing what they told me. Make something that's so different from what it was, right? And then those people fall on the sword like, oh, I just did what they told me to do.
And that's exactly what happens.
It wasn't my idea.
Marching orders, you're right. They come in there like, yeah.
We don't want it to be like that. Wait. Make it be like that. You're out. Okay. Thanks. Cool. Put my name on that. But at the end of the day, however you get to the point you need to get to, as long as you get there, right? As long as you get there. And that's when I saw that little news, so bringing it back to X-Men, when I saw that little news or that little, at first I was like, because I was just scrolling. So, when you scroll, you don't know what's real or what's not. So let me kind of like look. But at the end of the day, it made me think that I'm excited about the idea of that. Now, again, to your point, that's coming off how well done, whatever levels you want to say well done is, how well how good this X-Men show was, but we don't know what's on the other side when my man that was involved no longer involved.
That's what I'm worried about.
We don't know.
Yeah, that's what I worry about the most. It's like, okay, because remember, he came in with specific rules and guidelines of like, he had that big cloud over everything. Like, hey man, you got to be a fan, and that shows in this season. You know what I mean? Clearly, these are fans. Clearly, these are somebody who appreciate the details and the past and the history of the show. Take that away now, man. You don't know what you're gonna get, bro. Your stuff can get goofy really quick.
Yeah,
and this is what I mean. This is what I mean about this time jump. Because now once you start messing with time and universes and stuff, that's a way that you can erase you can like blank the slate and be like, oh, they in present day now, and now all the goofiness from like the current day comics get
and
you get further and further away from the source material is really what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Which I think Bo DeMail, the guy who got fired, seemed like he really wanted to keep this tied to the source material. And going back to what you said, piggybacking off what you said, is everything look in universe. Everything looks like all these characters look like their counterparts from the 90s, from the late 90s. All of it, like even the Hulk looked like that Hulk from back in the day. The Fantastic Four suits, the Iron Man, he wearing, the Iron Man, the Captain America, everybody looked like they looked in the 90s, so there's no revisionist here, I mean, this is all like, oh no, if you was a fan of the source material, put that into the show. You take this dude away now, did he have somebody under him, pause, that was taking notes, that was kind of staying in line, that was like on shoulder to shoulder with him, like, yeah, I'm a fan too. This is my favorite show. Do you have that? Because if you got that, then we should be looking good going into season 3, which we know we're gonna get. That's the only thing I'm worried about, man. Is that, and that's why I'm kind of reluctant on like, I see everything there for them to do the connected Marvel animated universe, but it's like Man, you gotta have the right people in charge, man. You gotta have people in there who respect that stuff. Otherwise, why are we doing it? So
100%.